Hi, beautiful soul. Welcome to a moment with Miss Mia. I'm a mystic. And for today's topic, we're looking at when you finish your initial spiritual awakening cycle, which might take several years, decade, or more. What do you do after? How do you help others shine their light? And it came to my awareness that I am a Leo rising, but also a Leo South node. And so I know these are attributes that I have down that I've mastered in a different lifetime, that I came into this world having the natural abilities and skill sets in. So even though I was like a shy kid, like extremely shy, right? Because I didn't want to look like an idiot in front of other people, I didn't know English, I didn't know the culture. I was just kind of thrown into the world with no guidance. And I had to literally learn everything, every single thing by observing. So I look at the world in a different way, and a lot of us light workers, we have that's kind of backstory, or we're the black sheep, or there's something that affected us that made us see the world differently, right? Anyway, even though I was an extremely shy kid, out of fear and terror of saying or doing the wrong thing that would make other people see me as other, I didn't want to give anyone a reason to look at me differently or make fun of me or anything. I didn't say much. I kept to myself, even though I probably wouldn't have been a shy kid if I, just was given proper attention or socialized better. When it came to presenting, I would get up there and present. I was still terrified, but I could get up and do the presentation or, talk in front of others or whatever. So that was never an issue. And as I kind of came out of that, shell I was in, made friends, kind of started doing the normal things that other kids were doing later in middle school and high school. I kind of came into that very confident Leo aspect. And I was always shut down. I never got my moment in the light, right? And after during my spiritual awakening, I did tarot, and whatever I would learn, I would pass on to people on the same wave as me, in the same circumstances as me, right? And I kind of advanced very quickly because I would interact with a lot of clients who were dealing with these same spiritual problems, which allowed me to advance very quickly and share what I knew faster. And then I kind of had to leave that because, when you're in your spiritual awakening journey, you have the tendency of helping others, being in service to others, because when you're in that much pain and suffering, because it doesn't stop when you spiritually awaken. You might get a butterfly or two, but you gotta keep going. It's still very difficult. The universe probably has a very, very awesome, divine, galaxy-shaped, new realm of a carrot dangling in front of you to keep you going. But then once you finish that initial spiritual awakening journey, you kind of left wondering what's next. And so that's kind of where I am in my life. It's I'm transitioned out of the old life and I'm transitioning into the new, but there's still kind of a crossover. I'm not fully in the new yet and not fully out of the old yet, but I can see the transitioning happening from within and without. And it's very obvious that I am stepping into a very concrete, long-term career or life's work that I haven't really put my finger on just yet, but it's right there. I can see all the aspects are there. All the things that I've done before is helping me now, and it's coming together. And you just got to be patient. It might take months, it might take a year, but I know it's forming at this time, and you can't rush it. You just got to go through it. So you can't skip this part. You just have to go with it. So that's where we are right now, where you can't see what you're going to be matched up to, but the clues that I got, like right now, I'm experiencing a lot of people that are close to me, kind of living out my quote unquote dreams. And yeah, dang, stake to the heart. But, I'm at such a good place now where I'm genuinely happy for them and actually helping a lot of these people. Some of them are close friends. Some people are new. I just met. Some people are people from my old past life that mention like, oh yeah, this person is doing exactly what you're doing or something, like the same age, same birthday. And I'm like, yep, great. So it's just recognizing, oh, those dreams that I had for myself that are playing out right in front of me to other loved ones and to other very, very close friends and other people who have the same aspects of me or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's because I'm not meant to do those things. I'm meant to have a different life, maybe similar, but just different in a different way. And I mean, I kind of know I'm very intuitive, right? It's supposed to be a very, very different way that these things play out for me. And I've come to accept my life that it's not supposed to be normal. It's not supposed to be how I think it's supposed to play out. It's going to be completely different, because even to this day, I'm very intuitive and I can put together some aspects of myself, of my life, right? But it's very hard to read for yourself, right? It's going to be more magnificent than people can tell. And I've been to other readers and psychics here and there, like really world-renowned ones, and even they can't see it because it's above their pay grade. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I know as Aquarius North Node that I'm a humanitarian to help others. I'm supposed to be a visionary, expand people's consciousness, inspire others. It's what I've always done, right? And to put aside the light for myself or shine my light in helping others shine theirs. And I have no issue with that. I've been doing it my entire life, going under the radar, helping a ton of people. If I always waited to get credit from people, I would just be waiting forever. That's what I do. I go around helping people, and I'm not supposed to shine by myself. I'm supposed to shine with the team. I'm supposed to shine with others, helping others figure out how they're supposed to shine. Okay, so that's the basis of this reading. So I'm going to do this process for myself. How do I help others shine their light? And then I'm going to pair it with a reading on my other channel for specific guidance for each individual that comes across this message. So I'm going to show you my process and how I break it down, kind of pair it with a tarot reading for if you would like more specific guidance for yourself, and kind of wrap it up with just what I learned overall for people in this kind of place in their life as well. Okay. So, how do I help others shine their light? Okay. Making lists is what I do. All right, so how do I help others shine their light? Let them speak. Okay. It's kind of like I have a very sharp tongue, and I have a lot of power in the things that I say. My words have a lot of weight. I'm a very serious person because I'm an old soul. It's just how I roll. You know, it would be nice to bring a little bit more levity, but that's not like my forte. I mean, when things get too serious, I can cut the tension a little bit, but to kind of point them into what to speak about, point them towards what to speak about. Kind of like guide them towards a specific topic or questions or a specific focus or experience that could maybe point them in the right direction of what could be helpful. Okay, right off the bat, that's really good. What else can I do to help them shine their light? Something big in their life that is like a long held belief that they could see in a different way. But I'm getting kind of like take this in a lighter direction. Yeah. And a new but gentle perspective about long held belief. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna open this up a little bit. Yeah, 2 of Cups. Hold their hand. Come with love. Yeah, because I definitely feel like it's kind of like be like, oh yeah, you know, I see this in a different way, but you know, I have love for this person. They should be able to do what they want to do, but you know, if they can't see that I'm coming out of this perspective with love, then you know, like trying to handle like different people who are different than you or a different perspective, and out of love, and be like, yeah, you know, I have love for this community, or I have love for this idea, or have, you know, or coming from love for yourself, like, you know, I was really stuck with this kind of way of thinking, but I had to like tell myself like, you know, I have to change, there's just too much proof, or you know, I have to see the other side, I need to know all parts of the story or something like that, coming from it from a place of love, from a higher perspective, or even from how you've changed, or how you still have love for this person or this group or this community, but how you see things differently, and it's coming from a place of love, you know. So it's just kind of you know, especially when you're one-on-one with someone, like they can't help but listen if it's coming from a gentle place of love, even if it's an opinion or idea that's different than yours. Okay. Let's see what else. Anxiety. That's what I'm hearing. I'm getting reach out. Reach out if you feel like someone's having a bad day. There's no telling how much you can change someone's like life, just by giving them something very seemingly small to you, easy, because they're already going through a tough time. So anything good, even a tiny bit, is gonna make their day, or change a very heavy energy, and with very minimal effort from your side. Yeah, just reach out. I think the other day, I came across someone who was having a tough day. I was doing a bunch of like video chats, and it came up, and I'm like, hey, it seems like you're going through a difficult time. I just emailed them back after, like, do you want someone to talk about? Like, I do this for a living. I can give you a quick reading or something. And it turns out they're having a really bad day. A lot of things going on. But it was just so easy to just give them a little bit of something, completely change their perspective, and really affect the rest of their, like, literally their year and their major things going on in their life, and get them clarity on it, and get some hope, and really just move that energy for them or with them. And it just came from, like, I'm doing okay, like, or I might be having a bad day, but if someone's having a worse day for me, I'm like, okay, which is really easy for us to do as light workers, because just like, it's something that helps you. You feel good when you help another person, when you make someone else smile, when you feel like you made a difference. That's how light workers work. Not everyone works that way, and you got to remember that. Not everyone works in that way, where if they help other people, they feel good about it. I mean, even like narcissists and sociopaths, once in a while will feel better for helping others, but that's not their MO. That's not how they like live most of the time, where they're constantly feeding off of helping others, right? And that's something that our light workers have to work on too. Like, like, are we just doing this because we feel good to make other people feel good? Like, is it truly beneficial for all involved? Is it beneficial for yourself as well? To, learn to not drain yourself, and, giving in a healthy way that is good for all involved, including yourself, right? So that's a huge lesson arc that we go through in our initial spiritual journey. When I say I mean it's initial spiritual awakening journey, like when you are still doing like the healing and purging and releasing and figuring out who you are and your purpose and stuff like that. That like first chunk of your journey that takes a good amount of years, Okay, rest. And skill development, yeah. So it'll be in a healthy way, because because it's easy for you. You can do it in your sleep. Easy for you, and it's skill development. It helps you learn the next thing. So for example, I have the natural talent to present, but doesn't mean that I was good at knowing what to present, or I had to get over like the shyness. I had to learn tarot. I need to know what to present. I needed to know, I had to like learn it on the job kind of thing, right? And when I was helping that person, like I recognized that I kind of, I'm working on more doing an in-person, one-on-one type of sessions, counseling, and using my intuitive abilities in a unique way to help others. So that person that came across my path, I was able to help them, but it was also helping me develop my skills in a very, very authentic and let it come to me naturally. It it was kind of nerve-wracking because I'm like, oh, this is a different way I'm doing this, you know. Someone who like never got a tarot reading, never has done any of this, doesn't even believe all this, and I'm kind of practicing, you know, how to go into this, how to develop this, like these sessions with clients in a different way, in a more specific and refined way. And it's like, I'm just gonna have to go with the flow, and you know, it came easily when you don't have that pressure. So it helped them and it helped me. It's kind of mutually beneficial, right? Okay, let's see. I think we'll do 7 because that's what I've been normally doing, but I'm just gonna let Spirit take the lead. Let's see. 11. We'll see. 11 for me, and on the 12 die is kind of like you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So, you know, even with this channel, like Spirit's like, it's gonna help you, guide you to what you're supposed to be doing and connect you to the right people. So it's like, all right, I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know what I'm doing here, but this is what you're supposed to do. Putting yourself out there. It's scary, but you get better at doing it just by keep putting yourself out there. 4 of Wands, homecoming. Okay, wow. Five of Pentacles. Interesting, because the Five of Pentacles is kind of like the image of you leaving the home or not having a home. And then we have, but your home. Constantly finding your home. So this is actually one of those things where you're kind of showing others, you're being an example, you're living by example of how people can accept who they are and where they are in life, no matter what's going on for them. You know, who you are, where you are. Acceptance. And sometimes, you know, even if you're kind of on a like shaky grounds right now, you don't feel like you know where you are in life, by showing others, being like, wow, like this is what you're going through, this is where you've gone through, this is where you are now, this is what you're have the potential for, like where you are right now is so special. So like, you know how sometimes you can't see yourself and where you are in life, and especially if you're intuitive and you read for yourself, or you know, you're trying to figure out your life or whatever, like you sometimes can't see where you are. But it's easy for someone who's close to you or someone else outside of you to kind of see it better. That's what you can be for others, and in doing that for others, you're also doing that for yourself, accepting where you are. So you can come at it from either way. You can like be like, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I just left the longest held job I ever had, the only job I ever knew that I was good at, that I loved, that I sometimes still think, why did I leave? Because I know I'm meant to do something else, and I know I'm on the right path, and I know everything's coming together, and I can see all the skill sets that I've learned pushing me into that direction. I can see it, and this is a transition, and I know I'm just supposed to put one foot in front of the other and do what I was supposed to do, with no shame, complete acceptance, just unleashing my creativity. And you know, people who don't understand it won't understand it, but they're not meant to. The people who do, you know, they're gonna resonate. They're on my wave, and this can help them, and they can help me. This is like just putting yourself out there, right? Accepting yourself, and that helping others accept where they are. Or if you're feeling kind of on shaky grounds, feeling kind of shaky, you know, seeing that in others, and then letting that help you accept where you are. But that's kind of like, keep bringing it back home. Like, this is where you're meant to be. This is who you are. Like, you're always safe in this situation, and you're in this moment, whatever moment you're in, like, you're always safe there. You're protected, and you're meant to be where you're meant to be. whether it's you reminding your person or that person reminding you. That's a beautiful, wow, sentiment here. And hand came face down. Knight of Wands. Yeah, it's kind of like when the inspiration strikes kind of thing. Because sometimes it's kind of tough to... sorry, I just punched the microphone by accident. I've never done that before. It's kind of just like punch the mic. Yeah. When you have that inspiration, write it down, speak it, record it, tell it to someone else, because you know when you have that inspiration, when you're channeling, when you're feeling like some divine energy come through and give you some special guidance, some clear points that can really help you out, put it down. It might not be for you, it might be for someone else, but most likely it's probably for you too, because that's like where the best way to do kind of light work is when it's not just helping others, but also helping you. Yeah. I wonder if we're going into the next the next read here. Let's see. Knight of Wands. It came out face down when inspiration hits. Child. Innocent youth, beginner, playfulness. Okay. How can you help others shine their light? I'm getting when inspiration hits, ride the wave. Punch the mic. So I'm definitely getting like, even if you're alone, but we're talking about how to help others shine their light. If you're just with a friend, a stranger, a family member, someone you've been with for a very long time, someone you've just met, it doesn't matter. But when inspiration hits, ride that vision. I remember I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and we kind of got off topic. I actually called this spiritual friend because I was kind of going through something, and I really needed the emotional someone to hold be in that emotion with me, hold that space for me. And I rarely do that unless I'm like really, really, at my wit's end. But and then she kind of went off to kind of talk about her vision, and I'm like, this is a beautiful vision. I'm dying, but I'm gonna sit with her for a second because she's being hit by some divine inspiration, and it's very beautiful. And it might be helpful for me to kind of step outside my misery. What I realize that when I'm kind of going through that difficult experience, like when I'm talking to a friend about some difficult emotion that I'm having, like I hate the idea of burdening my friends with such heaviness, because like I'm also very introspective, and I've already broke down like each aspect of this difficult thing that I've been dealing with for a little while, because I don't go to my friends until it's too much, and then I like bleh, I don't want to like trauma dump or just vent until I'm blue. I understand. I respect the back and forth aspect. Like my friends will hold space for me for a little bit, but like you can't expect someone to like go through a therapy session with you. It's like very, very deep and important. But like bringing that levity through, making it fun for them to be on this conversation too. And I could see that their inspiration hit, and like maybe they were triggered by such like deep darkness that I was experiencing, and it like triggered their expansion of their vision. I was helping them with their dreams, their goal, kind of. Also, they probably didn't realize in the beginning how heavy what I was going through was. I just sat with them in their vision. It was nice for me to kind of get out of my own misery for a second too. Can I just dream with them and build on top of their vision, and bring out some details and just ride that vision with them. It was really, really like, it was divine, Um, and then afterwards they're like, oh, I didn't realize that you were going through such a difficult time, and you let me go on and on about my thing, and you even helped me with my project, my the thing that they're working on. I'm like, I know. And so like they came through in the end. It's kind of like when it hits, and like if it's divine, I mean, it's also helping you too to kind of maybe step outside your energies for a second as well. Yeah, kind of like having a lot of intuitive friends and spiritual friends. Like when you kind of talk about things going on in your life, you never know what direction the conversation is going to go, because two light workers coming together, oh man, like you guys you can burn each other out just by kind of, activating so many things in each other, right? So like, for example, in that conversation with that friend, when I needed help, like it probably activated some of her triggers from some heaviness, and that kind of sprung her into her visions more, because that's how we kind of usually cope our minds with such heaviness, such trauma. We've learned as black sheeps early on from our experiences early on to kind of go into that magical fantasy mode, right? So yeah, just even interacting with other light workers kind of brings you to a different place. But even with someone who isn't like necessarily quote unquote light worker, or wouldn't consider themselves that, like they brought up that vision for a reason. Like ride with them, like see what comes through and why. Okay, so let's see. How do I help others shine their light? Nope. Okay, it seems like too many cards. But the two that came up face up is Whip and Clouds. Mountain and Lily were the other one. So highly spiritual. I'm going to take Mountain and Lily as like highly spiritual. So Clouds and Whip as something highly spiritual. Discipline. Disciplined thinking. Okay, I'm not sure where we're going with that, but disciplined thinking. Okay. How so? Emotional. Leaving, purging. Deep emotions. Oh, okay. Leaving, purging. Okay. I'm getting so this is something new that I've realized about myself, but I'm really good with organizing my emotional life, and I definitely want to bring that out and help others organize theirs. It's kind of like the step in the direction of what I feel like I'll be doing next. Marie Kondo helps people clean out their homes and organize their spaces. That's, kind of tailor-made for that person. Tailor-made emotional organizing. I think we're going more specific into me now and my specific talents and abilities. Okay. So I definitely want to I've done a lot of work, inner work, right? And to the point where it's very efficient. And I definitely have some systems and some tactics, some ways to do these things that I've learned through my own journey that are very unique and specific that I haven't seen out there, because everyone has, sharing their own kind of thing, other spiritual gurus, leaders, teachers, whatever type of people, putting out what will help them and it works for them. But I'm a master in my own right. I have developed my own self-mastery techniques that have helped me, that are unique, and I would love to share. And I definitely want to work one-on-one with people. And I definitely want to work, I call it like emotional organizing, how people organize their emotional life. And I think that's kind of a next step that we're going to be leaning into with AI taking over a lot of rudimentary jobs. There's going to be more time for people to kind of focus on their emotions. And I can definitely see like people are going to be ready to kind of work on this aspect of themselves. And I have some of the tools. And I have a lot of different methods, and I'm also someone who's intuitive that can work and adapt these techniques or new techniques that's developed through the client to work for them in their life. I thought of this idea as kind of like a queer eye type thing, but like, there's a reason that kind of method is so effective is because, usually when you unclutter your emotional life, it's nice to unclutter something in your physical life too, like a room in your home, or something going on at work, or something, your health, or something else physical to go along with that emotional work. And I've always wanted to work with that. I know there's a lot of therapists out there that already do kind of a similar thing, but this is my own way of attacking it that is kind of more resonant with me, because this is what I did in order to come through this. And instead of people wasting like a decade doing this, they can do it in a short period of time, because I went through it and this is how I did it. And for people who resonate with me, like, you can shorten that amount of healing and understanding and clarity in your own life, because using my methods if they work for you, because you don't have to go through figuring it out. You have someone who's kind of done that can do it with you. Yeah, so that's more specific to me, but like, I'm just showing you my kind of technique here in moving through this. Okay, so we're back to these original cards. All right, I feel like I'm going to do one more and we'll wrap this up. I've been kind of making a list of 7 which, so, ooh, okay, wow. And for me, it's kind of like always looking at how I can work with others. How to work with them if they were on my team. I think this is so important. Wow. My team. Because I'm always looking for people that I can do this next project with, right? And I'm always working on multiple projects at a time. I have the capacity to think that way, and it's just how I do things. I have you can't see, but I have a whiteboard right here where I have like a list of different projects and different things to do on those projects. And I have 3 calendars behind me, because that's just the way I think, right? But, I'm looking for people that I can work with in different areas of my life and in different projects in different ways, and small ways and big ways. And I think what I need to do is every person that I come across that would like me to help them shine their light, I'm not going to force myself on people. I put myself out there. I give people my card. Metaphorically, I give them an opportunity, like, hey, I do this. If you want to sit down and talk, that'd be cool. Or, hey, like, we're going to be in this project for a bit. Like, might as well get to know each other. If they don't want to, that's fine. I step away. I give people the opportunity. And if they don't want to work with me, grow with me, or even use my services, which, are expensive. So if you come across me and I offer you free services, I would take myself out on it. Yeah, if they don't want to, it's their free will, their lost opportunity. But for me, I need to be able to find how this person can be my teammate in every person that I meet. Not every person I meet, but every person that is open to kind of working with me in some capacity, whether it's work, or whether it's a living situation, whether it's a, transaction, like a business transaction, or, a person I just met who just wants to chat, or whatever the situation is, like, how can this be my team member? Look at people in that way. Well, that's really a good thing for me to do. I'm looking for team members. I should look like there's abundance of team members everywhere. Abundance of people I can work with. And that also I am the ultimate team member. So not just like kind of see how they can help me, but how I would be able to help them. You know, you don't have to end up being with them, but like if I was with this person as a partner, as a friend, as a neighbor, as a coworker, as, you know, in whatever capacity, like what can I bring to the table for them? And then see what they can bring to the table for me. I'm really good at interviews. I do them a lot. And so that'd be kind of like something I can do, and kind of interview everyone I meet, that I come across, and kind of approach like, yeah, so what do you have to offer? This is what I have to offer that I think it will be helpful to you. You know, it's kind of transactional, which I don't, which not a lot of people appreciate, because a lot of people like just be in the moment and like, you know, just see how things flow. But like also you can put some action behind that and like actively think like, how can I help this person? What can I, you know how when you're starting your spiritual journeys, like how can this person help me and how can I help them? Like you kind of like mirror them. This is mirroring on like the next level. Like you're on a business level now. You're running on a CEO level where you're just kind of like, how can this person help me? And how can I help them? Like you're networking kind of. So networking. I think that's a definite next step for like spiritual folks. You know, it's like we're kind of getting into that place where we're connecting with other light workers and we're figuring out, hey, this person, you know, we might not be a good fit as spiritual friends right now, but I feel like we should keep in touch, because down the line, like we can definitely help each other out with resources, like where they're going, where I'm going. Like I could definitely see us like being mutually beneficial down the line with like a project that crosses over what could help them and could help me. Wow. I'm just going to pull one of each card now just to kind of wrap this up. Clover, opportunity, good luck. Yeah, look for opportunities and everything. Look for opportunities. You know what I just got? Gratitude journal. I just saw an image of my gratitude journal. It's like, instead of writing what you're grateful for, look at, like, make a list of the opportunities you saw that day, or the opportunities that you have right now. I love that, because it makes your mind think differently. Before you're coming from a healing aspect when you're in your initial spiritual journey cycle, and now you got to step it up. You got to think, like a lot of people think that light workers aren't supposed to be, you know, doing business. No, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Light work should be taking over businesses. We should have new systems for businesses, and how we do that is to infiltrate and do things our way, the higher perspective, the more moral, the more highly conscious way of doing this. We should be taking over businesses. We should be learning how things were and then figuring out ways to do it better. This is how we change the businesses into 5D. Strength. Second time the strength came out. Before it was I help you, you help me kind of thing. This is how we weave the fabric. I'm getting, okay, last card. 4. Strength card again. Wow, okay. 8. This is leads to powerful manifestations. Manifest with others. This opportunity thing is going to lead to how you can help better manifest with others. It's no secret that when you hold a lot of personal power, when you are aware and you can be in your personal power, and you come across other light workers who are in the same kind of energy, manifesting with them amplifies your manifestation. So you're looking for people that you can amplify your projects, amplify your ideas, amplify your manifestations with. All right. This has been so beautiful, so helpful, hopefully helpful to you as well. And I'm going to be doing a reading to pair with this on my other channel, A Moment Tarot. Hope you enjoyed this moment, and I wish you much love and light.